Howdy, and welcome to the veritable edge of Western civilization yet again, Venice Beach, California. Today is November 19th, 2014, and this is show number 116. So I think it's safe to say that we've kind of worked through the 116 shows. That's probably what do you call it? What do you call that? The beta stage. Yeah, we're past the beta stage. So I'll probably sometime in the near future actually post this on my personal website. I just realized I haven't actually been promoting it, and I haven't really focused on promoting the show at all. It's all been word of mouth and whatever gets posted on Facebook. And so time for some shameless self-promotion, I guess. But yeah, anyway, let's take a look around. November day here in Venice. Yep. And here we have, my version of the Aztec sun calendar stone. And let's get interesting. All right. Bring this closer. And yeah, that's what I mean.
And it's also our like face too, so like those are quite
Oh man, I walked all the way down the street. I already got my dad's shopping shirt for $10.
Yeah, and he told my seniority. Yeah, so that's.
You guys want to go check out the sand? Where oh.
Alrighty then.
Back.
The thing about this process is, you know, I can really appreciate the what it must have been like for the monks that copied manuscripts, because I'm basically just copying this without a full understanding of, or complete understanding of what the significance of it is. Which is, you know, for me, it's a great learning experience. But I mean no sacrilege to whoever this is sacred to. It's like eagle claws or something. I tell we're coming to the end of this project because I'm definitely getting the hankering to paint other paintings. But I'm gonna take, I may have to take this down and start another painting because I need to go get, there's a gold paint. There's a really wonderful paint store here in LA. They make their own artist paints called Nova Color. I mean, this is a little hole in the wall place that like it completely survives by artists buying their product, and the product is pretty wonderful. So, but it's in Culver City, and I need to go get some prints made anyway, and that the print place is not far from paint place. So it's right around where they're building the new the extension to the LA subway system, where it crosses through Culver City on its way to Santa Monica. And, yeah. Okay. 2 down. Couple more to go. This is definitely like the clawed feet of something. It was something I kept thinking about yesterday after the show is that how everything, all the projects that I'm working on right now, including this obviously, and the documentary that I'm working on in the book, they all have to do with time. And yeah, which is kind of funny. My friend Kelly, the brother I learned astrology from, he liked to make up little names for me, and one of them was, he looked at my he looked at the for this. He looked at my initials, DAE. He would call me the District Attorney of Enlightenment. It's a little stretch there, buddy, but you always try to laugh. And he was not above getting a cheap laugh at any cost. The cornier, the better. I mean, this guy, he could quote you The Hollywood Shuffle. You know, that was one of his favorite movies of all time, much to my chagrin. Because he'd be like, you know, it's like 6'2" ex-linebacker white guy with this boundless enthusiasm for pretending to be a black comedian. Oh man! And he would say the same. I mean, I'd see him a couple of months at a time. You know, I'd see him a couple months later. I'd see him, and he would tell the same. You just run through the same script from that movie, and we would laugh just like it was the first time we'd heard it. You know, it's crazy. But hey, those days are gone. Yep. But in our hearts. Yep. So that goes. That just goes to show you, you know, that it's funny that it's the humor that we remember most about people when it comes right down to it. And that's I consider that a blessing. Crazy. Yeah. So anyway, I want to. I'm going to go over this with at least some of it with a gold paint, and the gold paints that I have are not gold enough to really make this pop the way I want. So I'm going to go get some of theirs. They have this royal gold that is just like very nummy. And so I can wait. It'll be a few days, probably by next week. I'll have the paint, hopefully before the weekend. So. Yeah. That's to this side.
I have no idea.
Yep. It's looking like it.
I'm so happy for you. It doesn't even feel real. It's like I'm not even kidding. Like I'm not even happy. I'm feeling
So, last night I watched this documentary about how the sun is affects the Earth's magnetic field. Real light, very entertaining. It was a mystery. Suspense. No, just kidding. Butler did it. Just warning you. 2, 3. Oh, no. Look at that. Back. Come on back. So the gist of this movie is that the sun affects the Earth's magnetic field, and the Earth's magnetic, we're, all life and human beings, our brains and everything are all affected by fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field. And so yeah, we want to go over all that there. Thanks, brother. Good job.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. It's that brother that has the, he's recovering from a stroke on his left side, it looks like. He is out every day walking the boardwalk, trying to get it back. I fully get where he's coming from, because when I hyperextended my knee, I didn't think I'd ever be able to run again. Certainly never be able to sprint again. And that was unacceptable. So I went to the gym and I talked to somebody that knew about what muscles I had to strengthen, and showed me the machines that would be helpful for that. And over there at Gold's Gym, plug, right across from the Google campus, the Googleopolis. Yeah. So anyway, the Earth's magnetic field affects human brain functions, and when the Apollo astronauts first went into space, Apollo and even the Gemini, the longer Gemini missions, when the astronauts went into space, they when they came back, they started to record when they got back down to Earth and walked around and everything, and started to report. They started to get sick, and luckily, it's the LA Fire Department. Luckily, they figured out pretty quick that it was because they had been separated from the Earth's magnetic field, and so sure enough, those maladies were short-lived, and but it said a lot about our dependence on the Earth's magnetic field. So, and it turns out that there's a correlation between the sunspot cycles. You know, the sun has a 11 and 20 year sunspot cycle, right? So there's you'll notice on the outside of this ring, there's 10 here, 10 flowers, and the 11th flower on the outer, right, there's 10. And that, I think, is the, you know, the cycle, the 22-year cycle of the solar sunspot cycle. Yeah. So every 11 years, it goes into a more active or passive phase. And I think it just, what was it, in 2012? Hello, how you doing, brother?
Doing well.
Good. Right.
I still haven't gotten the frame yet. But
Yes.
I'm looking to do some. I'm looking for a good gold one.
There you go. Excellent.
Well, you have a great day.
Yeah. Did you get a haircut?
Well, no, I always keep my hair short.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
you had a,
usually wear a hat.
that's probably what it is. Yes. Take care, brother. Yep. So, the sunspot cycle, and sunspots are, they look like black parts on the sun to us, but what happens when they happen is you can have, you know, coronal mass ejections and solar flares coming from those sunspots, and those increase the solar wind, and the intensity of the solar wind has a direct effect on Earth's magnetosphere, the magnetic field of the Earth. And so the more the sun is, the more active the sun, the more sunspots there are, the stronger and more intense the solar wind is, the more direct effect it has on the Earth's magnetic field in terms of fluctuations, and possibly even, you know, coronal mass ejections and solar flares. And there's a direct correlation to human history and populations, fluctuations in the Earth's population according to the sunspot cycle. It goes back as far as there was a German scientist that did a correlation going back to the 1700s. Hello.
Hey, so amazing.
Yep, I was going for amazing.
When are you gonna come visit?
So longer trends, you know, birth trends, death trends, infant mortality rates, all those things can be affected by sunspot cycles, and also people's moods and investments, like fluctuations in the commodities and stock markets of the world are directly traceable to solar activity or the lack of solar activity. It's crazy. So the other day, I was, what was that? Oh yeah, the solar wind, the lack of solar wind or the intensity of solar wind determines the psychic potential of a given day or moment. And, you know, there are certain times of the day, I mentioned, that are, this is a scientific study that was, where they took a look at a number of studies over a 20-year period into the effectiveness of people who were charged by the government to do remote viewing. And they discovered that there were certain times that were very conducive and there were certain times that were detrimental to those efforts. And what they determined was that around 1:30 in the afternoon local time is one of the best times to do it. Highest psychic potential. And there's another time of the day, I think it's around 3, that is not so good. And it has to do, there's when the galactic center is straight overhead between Sagittarius and Scorpio, is at the zenith. That's another time that's not good. And then there's the a time that is good is when Virgo, the constellation Virgo is just below this other constellation called Corona Borealis, which is essentially the north pole of the center, points towards that constellation. $50 fine for smoking on the boardwalk or the beach. Could you pass that on?
Over there too?
Yeah, that's the beach. You can smoke off the boardwalk. Yeah. Builder, you know, here she is out here smoking on the boardwalk. Not good. No points. No points on the big board. At least not in my universe. No, we'll have no points given. So I'm actually just, I'm trying to process. This is the first time I've mentioned anything from what I got from the movie last night. It's kind of boring to watch, but it was, I know that it's important for the research for the book. And one of the things that's interesting is, you know, it talks about the effects of magnetic fields on the brain. And what's one of the potentials for this is how we can do certain things that will essentially generate a magnetic field that's conducive to our cognitive functions. That's pretty trippy, huh? And it talked about the effects of, you know, DMT, dimethyltryptamine, is something that the brain is a chemical that our brains produce. And, you know, they've done a lot of research into it over the past 60 years. And, you know, they've also learned how to synthesize this DMT and done, you know, research with people. And what they describe is very similar to the onset of a DMT trip, you know, externally induced through taking in some kind of substance or pill or whatever, is very similar to what's described by when you astral project. They pretty much start very similarly, you know, the leaving of the body and then where you go and all that, and the sense that you know, time, you know, like you could live 1,000 years in 15 minutes kind of thing, you know, because the TMT trips are really short, and so are astral projections. And so it may be that people that are really good at astral projection are able to increase their DMT or to trigger DMT secretion at will, you know. So, which is really good for my research in trying to learn how to astral project. So it's like, okay, what can I do to increase my, to stimulate an increase in DMT secretion? By my brain, by my brain. Almost done, almost done. And then of course there'll be all this little noodling. I mean, almost done with the putting in all the things that are supposed to be there. But it's really interesting is that I noticed that all of these, this is the ring of the day glyph, the 20 day glyphs, and all of them are the bars separating them are, there's 2, except for that one right there is 3. Why? Why is that 3? So check the original calendar stone. And the answer is because somebody made a mistake drawing it. That's why. It wasn't me, of course. It was whoever. These should be 2. Excellent. Good, 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 good. That didn't make any sense. I could see if it were 3 up at the top or at the bottom or at the, you know, these points, but not in the middle there. It just made no sense. So anyway, end of mystery. I've actually been thinking about that for a couple of days. Like, why is that one 3? Hey, brother. Just get a haircut? Yeah, it looks good. Keep it up. Oriental men with haircuts. Why am I obsessing about that? I don't know. Okay, looks like 2 more. See. Yeah. Cool.
Petite one.
2 more. 2 more and we done, man. A beautiful day. And I am, of course, blessed.
ويقول لك اقدر اسوي زي رسم
I think these are claws. I don't know why. However, there are 5 at each station, and there's 6 of those, so that would be 30 of them. So those could be like the month. The what is it called? The Hob in the Mayans, the Hob cycle. What is how many of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So 50 probably means 52. Good recovery there, man. 50 probably means 52, so there's probably 2 things in that loop that are because, and that may be these things right here. A 52-year cycle in the Aztec and Mayan is like very similar to the Jewish, in the Jewish calendar. They have a 52-year cycle that has to do with Jubilee, you know, a 50-year cycle has to do with Jubilee. It's very similar to that. And one more. Yeah, so that's probably what that is. 50-year, flames. It could be flames because they have this cycle that has to do with you know, in a way. Put something on. There is a lot of fear in the built into the Aztec cosmology. And the Aztecs, you know, they inherited it from the Toltecs and the Mayans. The Toltecs inherited it from the Mayans, inherited the calendar system, but they... Oh man, somebody's amplifying some music. Is it coming through? Hope not. A little bit. Okay. So anyway, what I was saying is they have this, there's a lot of fear that the sun won't come back, right? And they felt like they had to maintain these this calendar, and this wasn't the Mayans, that wasn't their trip. It was definitely the Toltecs. Excuse me, the Aztecs, and I think they kind of got it from the Toltecs, who, you know, they were copyists as well. They didn't really, they conquered some of the Mayans. They warred with the Mayans, but they didn't. They competed with some of the Mayan cities and stuff, but they didn't originate any of this stuff themselves. They just kind of passed it on, and the Aztecs came in and they conquered the Toltecs, and you know, inherited it from them. And you know, like I said the other day, it looks like the Aztecs performed ritual sacrifice with real human sacrifice with real human beings, kind of like Catholicism, except you know, because Catholicism is a celebration of a ritual sacrifice as well, but it's with you know, bread and wine and all that kind of stuff. It's not, they're not actually killing anybody. Whereas looks like the Aztecs actually did kill people on a regular basis to maintain this. Oh yeah, this was another thing that I realized last night. I meant to mention is I think the calendar stone was essentially a tool of a political tool of exerting power through time, because in a way, who controls time controls life. And if you control the calendar, if you determine what the calendar is, then you control time, and thus you control people's lives and their economy and their hopes and dreams and all that kind of stuff. You control their spiritual lives, their religious lives, their community life, and their spiritual potential. And you harness that towards whatever your political end is. And I think this calendar stone, that was a big part of it, was the belief in a calendar, belief in this calendar system, and the imposition of it as a reason and excuse to perform, to exert the power of the state, the hegemony of the state, and the status quo, in the same way that our calendar system does that today. I mean, all calendar systems do that. And so this every 52 years, everybody in that part of the world would celebrate this holiday where it's something like the new fire, holiday. They don't call it New Fire holiday, but it's the ceremony of the new fire or something like that. And the idea was that all the hearth fires would be put out. Oh yeah, that's it. All the hearth fires would be put out, and so essentially for one moment, everybody, the whole area, would be completely dark. And then and the ceremony would take place once every 52 years. And then on that specific day when all the hearth fires would be put out, or specific night, probably at sunset, all the hearth fires would be put out, and then the fire would be lit at the temple, and started, and disseminated from that hearth fire at the temple, and thus once again, everybody would be receiving fire, receiving the light from the state, which is the religious, spiritual center of the temple. Crazy. And we have our own parallels with that, but the essence of it was because, there was a fear that the sun might not come up. And one of the reasons why that may have been the case is because there may have been a time when in recorded history, probably about 3,000 or so years ago, when there was a day when the sun didn't come up or was delayed, and because there's another time, it was around the time, I think of the Hebrews, conquering Palestine, Canaan, that there was some battle where the sun was held in the sky by the either Moses or Joshua or somebody, and until the battle went for the Jews. And it's possible that obviously that the earth paused for a moment in its rotation. And what would have caused that, of course, is if there was a solar flare or a coronal mass ejection that was so powerful that it blew the magnetosphere out for a second. That could have paused the Earth for a moment, or a day or whatever, caused the rotation to stop. And so need to do some more research into that. I saw that there were actually some as a matter of fact, there was a galactic superwave that happened around 1000 BC, and but I'm gonna take another look at it, hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow night, and we'll see if there's a correlation. But can you imagine if suddenly one day or one night, you have your night, and then the night just keeps going. It's like the Earth is stopped rotating. Can you imagine that? How scary that would be for people that didn't know any better. Yeah. They would definitely be, keeping track of this stuff in case something like that happened again. So anyway, I think let's see. Today is Wednesday, Mercury Day, and tomorrow is Thursday, Thor's Day, Jupiter Day, and what else? I looked at where the planets are today. What's going on? Oh, there's something. Oh yeah, the sun is conjunct in the next 24 hours. The sun and sun and Saturn are conjunct. Should be interesting. Saturn represents the basic structure of the world, and the sun is going to activate that. That's interesting. Whenever that happens, I get a hair on my hair. That means that there's going to be somebody is coming. Some woman is coming this way. Wonder who it could be. Oh, goody. So, let's see. What else is going on? Do you have any questions? Well, I wasn't just kidding. If you have any questions, you can either email me directly via Facebook or my email address. David Alexander English at yahoo.com or daenglish@gmail.com. And you can also, if you're watching live, you can go on to this Google Hangout, and you can join it, and then add yourself into it, and your little box will pop up on my screen, and we could actually have a direct conversation. So if you wanted to do that, you're more than welcome. So there, take that. Anyway, we're down to peanuts on the battery, so I'm probably going to call it call it a very patriotic day. See? What's going on? What else is there? I'm thinking like there's something else. And as soon as I hang up, it'll probably come to me. Oh well, just gonna have to let it go. So, once again, thanks for watching, and remember, we love you.